Hello, my name is Chloe McClare.
My name is Ashley Gegenfertner.
My name is Becca Boland, and I live in apartment C3
in San Diego.
And what is your take on ghosts or hauntings or spirits or anything like that?
I definitely believe in them. I've grown up watching a lot of ghost shows, and I just think it's really interesting, and I 100% believe in them.
Of the three of us, I would say that I'm the most skeptical. I don't know, I'd be the one to just try and see if there was a logical explanation to what happened, rather than just accepting that it was a ghost or a spirit or whatever. I would say that everything kind of started happening right about when we moved in. We would notice small movements of doors that kind of shouldn't have happened, and
there were a lot of instances like this, but I remember one specifically. I was sitting out in the living room with my roommate Chloe.
We were both just doing homework. It was probably later in the night, 10:30, I'm not sure.
And I was studying on my computer, and then all of a sudden the door that goes from the living room into Chloe's bathroom
closes all the way
and then completely reopened. And so it just was a little weird, but one of those things that we could brush off and be like, oh, it just was probably maybe there was a draft or something, and it kind of started off with us excusing weird things that happened because we didn't want to be dramatic.
And there was this one time where I would hear her, I was getting ready in the bathroom, which was attached to our room, but the door was closed, so I couldn't see anything. But I swear I heard her cackling, heavily laughing.
And I wasn't, and I had just chuckled once.
And I even got to the point where I had to ask her hey, what's so funny? And I came in, and apparently she was just laughing a little giggle one time when I thought it was continuous laughter.
And then there was another time that she came in and asked me who I was on FaceTime with.
Because it got to the point where I was I wonder who she's on the phone with.
But I was just laying in my bed watching TikToks, and I hadn't said a word in an hour.
There was a big power outage in the whole city of San Diego, so we had gotten home and the elevators weren't working and the garage wasn't working.
We were all sitting along the table, the family room coffee table, and all of a sudden
one light in the kitchen just turns on for a second and then turns right off, just like that.
And that one was really scary because it doesn't really make sense, if there was a surge of power, why it would happen in our kitchen, and why it wasn't until 45 minutes later that all the power in the city came back on. So that one was kind of a little bit more spooky, a little bit harder to explain away.
We were looking around, none of the other apartments had flashed. It was just one light had flashed very suddenly and went off.
I was home alone. I was in my room, which is on the other side of the apartment, FaceTiming my sister, and all the girls had been gone probably for over an hour at this point. They went out to get ice cream, and I heard this really weird sound coming from Chloe and Ashley's room. And I walk into their bathroom, and on their bathroom counter was laying an electric toothbrush that was just, it had turned on. And I was that is terrifying. I have no idea how that could have happened. It wasn't plugged in or charging or anything. It just was laying on the bathroom counter, and it was going off and kind of bouncing around, which is why I heard such a weird sound. And I turned it off, and I was I'm so scared, I don't know what to do, please come home. And I sent my 3 roommates that video. And then a couple minutes later, all my roommates came back except for Chloe.
And she's showing us the video of the toothbrush, and she's oh my god, this is so creepy. And we're yeah, it is weird. And then 15 minutes go by, and we're sitting in the family room, and everyone's just talking and everything. And then it's quiet for some reason, and then we hear the toothbrush go off again, and we're all oh my god, you're joking. We walk into the bathroom, and right when we walk into the bathroom, the toothbrush turns off. So we're okay, that's kind of creepy. Again, you really have to press it to turn it on, and then you have to hold it to turn it off. You have to hold for a good 3 seconds to turn my toothbrush off. And then we were out there for maybe 30 seconds to a minute after, and then the toothbrush turns on again.
And that kind of freaked us out, so we all ran and left the apartment and did not come back because it just was so random. And then on our way out, it started going off again. But we have never had a problem with it ever again. Actually, this is interesting, but we had moved it out of the bathroom into my bathroom because we just wanted to get it away from the room, because we feel this room, or Chloe and Ashley's room, is where most of the hauntings happen, or the scary occurrences. So we moved it into my bathroom and it never went off again.